or the cattle. We're not allowed to burn crops, like what they call scorched earth policy. This is un-Islamic. We can't even cut down trees unnecessarily, according to the minhaj Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. We've been taught this. This is very clear. We should all remember this. And we know the ayat in the Quran, من قتل نفس بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. We know this ayah, right? Whoever kills a person except for a life for a life, or one who commits al-fasad fil ard, is if they have killed all the people. And going back to the original explanation, whoever kills a person except for one who takes a life for a life or commits grave corruption, even the person who's allowed to be killed, according to this, those two groups of people, the death penalty still has to be given by a judge. It's not by you or me. Now, let me also go into mention briefly about this whole thing about suicide bombings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't kill yourselves. Don't kill yourselves. Don't go into a situation knowing that you have certain death, that you're going to go and hasten your own death by pressing a button, blowing yourself up. I think this is very clear. We don't need to have too much more explanation upon this. Now, what if someone, and this is one of the things we're talking about, extremism. Now, we've had incidences in America, not many. And the reason why I'm giving this talk, brothers in Islam, is because the leaders of the community are supposed to be like doctors for the community. What do I mean by that? If there's an illness in the society, let's say swine flu. If we know that swine flu is raising up in the society, the doctors, the medical people should tell the community, okay, take the precautions for the swine flu and get the vaccination, get inoculated for the swine flu. So we know that we don't have this problem here in Dearborn. We've never had a brother Muslim in Dearborn commit an act of terrorism against America. I mean, we know this, right? Or left to go overseas. To my knowledge, I don't know of any Muslims ever gone here and gone to take up fighting in Yemen or in Pakistan. I don't know about this. We don't know about this. And Muslims have been here in Dearborn for 100 years, since Henry Ford started Ford Plant. But as a community leader, this is for the vaccination, inoculation purpose. Because we don't want to have this problem here. We don't want to have this problem. Now, some of the brothers, I'm not going to mention their names. One of them is very popular on the internet, actually. He was born in America, now he's overseas. He used to be a very popular da'i at one time in America. He has said, and I've seen this myself, I've seen his lecture, he said that American Muslims have the duty to rise up and fight jihad and raise up and do jihad against America for America aiding Israel, for America aiding Ethiopia and their illegal invasion to Somalia, for America invading Iraq, and for drone attacks in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And no doubt we disagree with these things. But let me give you, from the scholars, quote a couple of verses of the Quran and one hadith in regards to this issue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu awfu bil-uqud. Awfu bil-uqud. Then the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala says another ayah, وَأَوْفُوا بِالْعَهْدِ إن العهد كان مسؤولا. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said in Hadith Sahih, من قتل معاهدا لم يرح رائحة الجنة. So Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, all those of you who believe, fulfill all obligations, fulfill all contracts. Another ayah, he says, and fulfill all agreements, fulfill all covenants, is a better word in English. Fulfill all al-ahd, covenants. And surely the covenants is something that you are responsible for. It's something you'll be questioned about. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, whoever kills a person of the covenant that you made a covenant agreement with, that he will never go to, or he will never smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah. He won't smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah, the sweetness of Al-Jannah. Now, when those of you who are older who migrated here from Yemen or other country you came from Saudi Arabia, whatever country you migrated from, Pakistan, India, Jordan, you came in to America, and what did you do? You took a test, you signed a contract, and you swore an oath. And you swore an oath. You fulfilled a contract to obey the laws of the United States of America. And we are obligated to obey the laws of the United States of America, and the only time it's permissible for us to ignore those laws and practice what is called civil disobedience, this is in civil rights language, to basically voice our concerns and resist it, is if any of our wajibat are made illegal. So for example, if the American government says you can't come to the masajid anymore, no Salatul Jum'ah. Muslims can't gather for Salatul Jum'ah, then I myself, I would go somewhere, if not to a masjid, I would go to a park and have Salatul Jum'ah at the risk of being arrested. I would do that. Or if the American government says we're not giving any more passports to Muslims, and we know that it's mahrood upon Muslims to make Hajj. Now, I've made Hajj before, but if you didn't make Hajj, you need a passport to go make Hajj, right? So if you can't get passport, then you can't fulfill something that is obligatory in Islam. Therefore, if I had never made Hajj, and God forbid, inshallah, Allah would never be made like this to make all, no Muslims can get passport, I would go across Canada and fly to Mecca to Mukarramah as a protest. But besides these things that are obligatory, we must obey the laws of the land. And it is not acceptable for Muslims to pick up arms and to kill innocent civilians, innocent Americans, or to target our law enforcement. It's totally unacceptable. Not only just because of being human beings, of being nafs, but also because of the covenant or the agreement that we've made with this country. Now some of you say, well, what if I was born here? I didn't sign the contract. Then you were born underneath the social contract. Just like if you were born under the Muslim land, in a Muslim country, or at the time of the Uthmaniyya, you were born underneath the governance of the Khalifa of the time. Same thing. And if things get too bad in America, or you totally disagree with the American policy or way of life, then you're free to renounce your citizenship and make hijrah. You're free to leave. Say, I'm no longer an American. Khalas. I'm not an American anymore. Khalas. Make hijrah and you go wherever you want to go. Go to Malaysia, go wherever it will take you. But besides that, you are to fulfill the contract, fulfill the social contract of being an American citizen. Thus, it is un-Islamic for any Muslim to incite treason against the United States government. Now,